My presentation is on urbanisation within England. What is urbanisation? Urbanisation is an increasing number of people that live in urban areas, like build up cities. So it can also represent the rate at which an urban proportion is increasing. That means there's lots of people moving there for jobs, better work, better living. This results in physical growth, which means there's a lot of people just physically moving there. There's lots of bodies, and it's hard to live there. It's stressful. Mainly moving to the area for work or social mobility. It's for better standard of living, more work, more opportunities. Population. The urban population jumped from 17% in 1801 to 72% in the 1900s. Within 200 years, it had increased to 88%, which is 49 million people, which is a big. The estimated population in the UK is 63.7 million. So, and that is with 89.7% of the population living in urban areas. So there's only 10%, 11% living in rural areas in England at the minute. And due to that, everyone moving to the urban areas, the physical growth, the population is doubling every 50 years. Transformation. Urban culture rapidly replaced rural culture. This is just all the machinery, mainly down to the Industrial Revolution. The UK was transformed from a nation of rural farmers to a nation of urban factory workers. That's because machines and factories have took over the UK. That's the main source of jobs. The development of factories changed England. That's because farmers weren't needed anymore. It's all machinery. There's a big foreign population moved to the cities in aid of factory work, which has also urbanised England. There's a big foreign population come to England to work in the factories, move to the big cities because they work harder than the English people and they work for less money. So nearly 4.9 million foreign people live in urban areas of England. That's a big amount of people living in urban areas of England. And most of them working in factories or just looking for cheap labour. So that's why they moved there. Urbanised cities. Leeds, Birmingham, Sheffield, Manchester, small towns like that, all of a sudden urbanised into big, large cities because of the factories. The biggest city in England is London, and it has a population of 8.3 million, like one sixth of the population in the whole of England. Urbanised cities where the money, services and opportunities are centralised. That is why everyone moves there for jobs, better standard of living. But moving to the cities, it also has negative aspects such as stress, increased daily life costs. If you go to London, you have to pay stupid amounts of money for a cup of tea, for some breakfast. It's expensive. This is a map of all the urbanised cities within England. England's not a big place, but as you can see, there's a lot of cities that have been urbanised in the recent years. There's even small towns on there which have a big population. Terraced housing. This was built for factory workers back in the Industrial Revolution, but now it is used for working class families in urbanised areas. It's very small, 2-bedroom houses, and it's got 50 homes in one street, all clustered together. That's because they're just so tight together, so small. But in urbanised areas, that's what you need because there's not enough room to build big houses with lots of land. Built in urbanised cities as a accommodate high density population. As the population in urbanised cities is so high, you need a lot of houses to hold them rather than living them out on the street. So this is why terraced housing is built and still used to this day. Industrial Revolution. It was the main cause of urbanisation within England. Rural farmers moved to the big cities in need of factory work. This is because, like I said, the machines took over and there was no use for farmers, and little use for farmers nowadays. Etc. have caused the sustained population growth within England. That is, Seems like everyone moved to the city. The population has just boomed in recent years. Machines took over, caused everyone to move to the city. This is a map of England and the density proportions within England. As you can see, there's no light. It's hardly any light shading within this map. The whole of England is densely populated, and the dark blue represents a high urbanised population. As you can see, there's quite a bit of England which has that. That's my works cited page.